The smell of Sunday morning pancakes filled our kitchen as I flipped the last one onto the stack. Golden, perfectly round, just the way my husband liked them. I drizzled maple syrup in that artistic zigzag pattern he always complimented, poured fresh orange juice, and set everything on our breakfast table by the window overlooking our backyard garden. Tyler walked in, phone pressed to his ear, barely glancing at the spread I'd prepared. He was talking to his mother. Again. The third call this morning, and it wasn't even 9 o'clock. "Yeah, Mom. I'll handle it. Don't worry about anything." I said I've got it covered. He hung up and sat down across from me, already scrolling through something on his phone. I waited for him to notice the breakfast, to say thank you, to look at me. "Everything okay?" I asked, trying to keep my voice light. "Fine. Just family stuff." He stabbed a pancake with his fork without looking up. "My parents' 50th anniversary is coming up. Everyone's been planning." "Oh, that's wonderful. 50 years is such a milestone. What are they planning?" Tyler shifted in his seat. "A cruise. Mediterranean. 2 weeks. The whole family's going." My heart warmed at the thought. I'd never been to Europe. After 5 years of marriage and working 60-hour weeks as a software engineer to support us, while Tyler helped run his family's struggling car dealership, a Mediterranean cruise sounded like a dream. "That sounds amazing. When is it?" "I'll need to request time off work. You know how my company is about advance notice." Tyler finally looked up, but his eyes didn't meet mine. They focused somewhere around my left shoulder. "Actually, Megan, about that. My mom thinks it should be. Immediate family only." The words hung in the air between us. I set down my fork. "Immediate family," I repeated slowly. "We've been married for 5 years, Tyler. I am immediate family. You know what I mean. Blood family. My parents, my sister and her husband, their kids, me. It's their anniversary. They want it to be intimate. Your sister's husband is going. He's not blood family." Tyler's jaw tightened. "That's different. They have kids together. My parents' grandchildren." I felt something cold settle in my chest. And what about me? What am I supposed to do for 2 weeks while my husband sails around the Mediterranean with his family? "I don't know, Megan." "Work? You're always working anyway. You probably wouldn't even enjoy it. My mom says you'd just be on your laptop the whole time." "Your mom says." 3 words I'd heard 1,000 times in our marriage. "Your mom says I don't dress well enough. Your mom says I should learn to cook Italian food like her. Your mom says my career makes me cold and unfeminine. Your mom says, your mom says, your mom says." I took a deep breath. "How much does this cruise cost?" Tyler's eyes finally met mine, and I saw a flicker of something. Guilt? Fear? It's not cheap, but it's their 50th anniversary. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. "How much, Tyler?" $42,000. "For everyone." I nearly choked. $42,000? And who's paying for this? The silence that followed told me everything. "We are," I said. It wasn't a question. "We're paying for a $42,000 cruise that I'm not invited to." "I'm paying for it," Tyler corrected quickly. "From our account, yes, but I earn money too." I wanted to laugh. Tyler's salary from his family's dealership barely covered our car payments. I earned 4 times what he did. Our joint account was funded almost entirely by my paychecks. The money he was spending so freely on a cruise I wasn't welcome on was money I had earned working nights and weekends, missing holidays, sacrificing sleep. "When is the final payment due?" I asked, my voice eerily calm. "Next Friday. The cruise leaves the following Monday from Miami." I nodded slowly and picked up my fork again. "Okay." Tyler blinked. "Okay? That's it? What else is there to say? Your mother has decided I'm not welcome. You've agreed. The money is already committed." I took a bite of pancake that tasted like cardboard. "I hope you all have a wonderful time." Tyler looked relieved, which somehow hurt more than anything else. He hadn't expected me to fight. He'd expected me to accept my place, just like I always did. After breakfast, Tyler left for his parents' house to finalize more cruise details. I sat alone in our living room, surrounded by the furniture I'd paid for, in the house I'd made the down payment on, wearing my wedding ring that I'd actually bought myself because Tyler couldn't afford the one I'd wanted. 5 years. 5 years of being treated like an outsider by his family. 5 years of hearing whispered comments about how I wasn't good enough, how Tyler could have done better, how I was just a nerdy girl from a small town in Nebraska who got lucky with a computer science degree. 5 years of Tyler nodding along with every criticism, never once defending me. I remembered our wedding day. His mother had worn white, arriving at our venue in a dress that looked suspiciously bridal. His sister had given a toast that somehow mentioned 3 of Tyler's ex-girlfriends. His father had pulled me aside to explain that their family had certain standards and traditions that I would need to learn to respect. I had smiled through all of it. I had told myself that things would get better, that once they got to know me, they would accept me. They never did. And now, after 5 years of funding their lifestyle, of paying for their holiday dinners, of secretly covering Tyler's credit card bills when his dealership commissions fell short, they were planning a luxury cruise with my money and telling me I wasn't welcome. Something inside me shifted. It was small at first, like a crack forming in a frozen lake, but as I sat there alone, it spread. The ice was breaking. I opened my laptop. The following week was the longest of my life. I went to work. I came home. I cooked dinner. I smiled at Tyler and asked about the cruise preparations. I listened as he excitedly described the ship, the ports of call, the excursions his mother had planned. Barcelona, Monte Carlo, Rome, Santorini, Dubrovnik. All the places I had dreamed of visiting someday, all funded by my 60-hour work weeks. My mom's really excited about the private dinner on Santorini, Tyler told me Wednesday night, showing me photos on his phone. They're doing it at this restaurant, built into the cliffside. Sunset views over the caldera. It's like $300 a person. That sounds beautiful, I said, and I meant it. It did sound beautiful, just not for them. Thursday night, Tyler was at his parents' house again, going over the final details before the payment was due the next morning. I sat at our home computer, logging into our joint bank account. $118,000. The balance of our savings. My savings, really. Money I had put away for a house down payment, for retirement, for our future. Tyler had added maybe $15,000 of that over the years. The rest was mine. I stared at the number for a long time. Then I opened another browser tab. When Tyler came home that night, I was already in bed pretending to sleep. He didn't try to wake me. He never did anymore. Friday morning, Tyler kissed my forehead at 6:30 before heading to meet his family at the bank. The cruise company required a cashier's check for the final payment. $32,000, the remaining balance after the deposit they'd put down months ago. Months during which no one had thought to mention any of this to me. I waited until I heard his car pull out of the driveway. Then I got up, made myself a cup of coffee, and sat down at my laptop. At 7:15, my phone buzzed with a text from Tyler. At the bank, about to get the cashier's check, so excited for this trip. Wish you could come, but it'll be great. Love you. I didn't respond. At 7:23, my phone rang. Tyler's name flashed on the screen. I let it ring. It rang again, and again, and again. Then the texts started flooding in. What happened to the account? Megan, where is the money? Call me right now. This isn't funny. Megan. I took a sip of my coffee and opened the travel app on my phone. My flight to Athens was departing in 6 hours. I had a villa booked on Santorini for the next 3 weeks, a private one with infinity pool overlooking the caldera. The sunset views were supposed to be spectacular. My phone rang again. This time it was my mother-in-law. I declined the call and blocked the number. One by one, I blocked Tyler, his sister, his father. I blocked the dealership number. I blocked every number connected to that family that had spent 5 years treating me like an unwanted guest in my own marriage. Then I picked up my pre-packed suitcase, called an Uber to the airport, and walked out of the house I had paid for. The flight to Athens was 11 hours. I spent it drinking champagne in business class, purchased with points I had accumulated from years of work travel that Tyler had always complained about. The irony wasn't lost on me. Somewhere over the Atlantic, I imagined the scene at the bank. Tyler's face when the teller told him the account was empty. His mother's outrage when she realized the cruise wasn't happening. his sister's disappointment when her free Mediterranean vacation evaporated. I imagined them trying to figure out what went wrong, calling me over and over, going to our house and finding it empty, checking the account again, hoping it was a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. It was a decision. I had moved the entire balance to a new account in my name alone. An account Tyler didn't know existed at a bank Tyler had never heard of. Legally, half of that money was his. I knew that, but legally, I could withdraw the entire joint account balance. The courts could sort out the rest later. Let them try to sue me from the Mediterranean. Oh wait, they wouldn't be going to the Mediterranean. I laughed out loud, and the businessman next to me gave me a strange look. I didn't care. I hadn't laughed like that in years. Santorini was everything I had dreamed it would be. The villa I had rented was perched on the edge of the caldera in a village called Oya. White walls, blue domes, winding stone paths. My private terrace had a plunge pool that seemed to float above the Aegean Sea. Every evening, I watched the sun sink into the water in an explosion of orange and pink and purple. I posted photos on Instagram. The villa, the sunset, my breakfast of fresh yogurt and honey overlooking the caldera, my new sundress purchased from a little boutique in Fira, my tanned legs stretched out on a sunbed by the pool. I didn't caption any of them. I didn't need to. Within hours, my phone was exploding with notifications, not from the numbers I had blocked, but from mutual friends, distant relatives, old college roommates. "Oh my God, Megan, are you in Greece? Girl, what happened? Tyler's mom is posting that you stole from them. Are you okay? Tyler is telling everyone you had a mental breakdown." I didn't respond to any of them either. Let them wonder, let them talk, let them see me living my best life, while the family that rejected me figured out how to explain to all their friends why their luxury cruise wasn't happening. On my third day in Santorini, I got a message from an unknown number. Someone Tyler must have borrowed a phone from. "Megan, please. We need to talk. I don't know what happened, but we can fix this. My parents are devastated. The cruise was supposed to leave tomorrow. Please just call me. I'm your husband." I read the message 3 times. Then I typed back. "You told me I wasn't family. You told me I wasn't welcome. You spent 5 years letting your mother treat me like dirt. You spent 5 years using my money while excluding me from everything. Now you're not welcome in my life. Consider this my resignation from your family." I sent it. Then I blocked that number too. That night, I had dinner at a restaurant built into the cliffside. The same one Tyler had shown me pictures of, the one his mother had booked for their private family dinner. I had called ahead and reserved the best table. The food was incredible. The wine was better. The sunset was everything Tyler's mother had dreamed of. I took a photo of my meal, the view, my glass of expensive Greek wine, and posted it. The comments flooded in. "Living your best life, Queen. Megan, this is iconic." Okay, so I heard the whole story, and honestly, good for you. And then, buried in the comments, one from a profile I didn't recognize but whose profile picture was undeniably my sister-in-law. "You are going to regret this. Tyler is devastated. Our mother is having heart palpitations. You have destroyed this family. We are getting lawyers." I looked at that comment for a long time. Then I replied, "Your brother destroyed our marriage when he chose you over me for 5 years. Your mother destroyed any goodwill I had when she told him I wasn't welcome at your family celebration. You all destroyed my trust when you planned a $42,000 vacation funded by my money without ever asking me. I simply removed myself from a situation where I wasn't valued. If that destroyed your family, maybe your family was already broken." Then I reported the profile for harassment, finished my wine, and ordered dessert. The weeks that followed were the most peaceful of my life. I left Santorini and traveled to Athens, where I wandered the ruins of the Acropolis and imagined all the other women throughout history who had been underestimated and dismissed. I went to Mykonos, where I danced until 3 a.m. with strangers who became friends. I took a ferry to Crete and hiked through ancient olive groves. I sat on empty beaches and read books I'd been meaning to read for years. I ate alone at restaurants and discovered I didn't hate it. I wandered through museums at my own pace. I slept late. I stayed up late. I did whatever I wanted whenever I wanted. For the first time in 5 years, I wasn't performing the role of dutiful wife. I wasn't monitoring Tyler's moods or anticipating his mother's criticisms. I wasn't working overtime to pay for other people's lifestyles. I was just Megan. And Megan, it turned out, was pretty happy. During my second week in Greece, my phone showed an email notification from a law firm. Tyler had filed for divorce. I read the filing while sitting in a cafe overlooking the harbor in Chania. He was citing abandonment. His lawyer was requesting I return half of the withdrawn funds, plus damages for emotional distress. I almost laughed. Almost. Instead, I forwarded the documents to my own lawyer, a shark named Patricia who I'd found through a recommendation from a coworker whose own divorce had gone nuclear. Patricia had cost me a significant retainer, but the look on her face when I'd explained the situation had been worth every penny. "Let me get this straight," she'd said over video call from my hotel room in Athens. "Your husband's family planned a $42,000 vacation funded primarily by your earnings, explicitly excluded you because you weren't considered real family, and now they're suing you for removing your own money from a joint account?" "That's correct." Patricia had smiled. It was not a nice smile. It was the smile of a predator who had just spotted easy prey. "Oh, honey," she'd said, "this is going to be fun." The divorce was finalized 4 months later. Tyler didn't get half. Thanks to Patricia's detailed documentation of our financial history, 5 years of bank records showing exactly whose paycheck funded what, and a judge who was decidedly unimpressed by Tyler's argument that he deserved compensation for his wife abandoning him after he'd told her she wasn't family, Tyler got exactly what he'd contributed to our marriage. $15,000. I kept the house. I kept my retirement accounts. I kept every cent I had earned, and I kept my peace. The last time I heard from Tyler directly was 7 months after that Friday morning at the bank. He'd somehow gotten my new phone number, probably from one of the mutual friends I hadn't yet cut off. His message was long, pages and pages of text about how sorry he was, how he hadn't realized how much he'd hurt me, how his mother's opinions had poisoned him against me, how he'd spent the last months in therapy trying to understand why he'd been so blind. He wanted another chance. He missed me. He'd never stopped loving me. His family had changed. Everything was different now. I read the whole thing, every word. I let myself feel the sadness of what we could have been if he had stood up for me just once, if he had chosen me, even one time, over his mother's poison. Then I typed back 3 words. "Too late, Tyler." And I meant it. It's been 2 years now since that Friday morning. I'm sitting on the balcony of my apartment in Seattle, a city I moved to because I'd always wanted to live near mountains and water, and I finally could. I have a new job at a company that values my work. I have friends who invite me to things because they actually want me there. I have a life that I built entirely on my own terms. Last month, I matched with someone on a dating app. His name is James. He's an elementary school teacher, which means he'll never make as much money as me. And when I told him that on our first date, he'd laughed and said that was fine because he'd rather be rich in summers off. On our 3rd date, he met my friend group. On our 5th, I met his family. His mother hugged me and told me she was so happy to meet me. His sister asked genuine questions about my work and seemed actually interested in the answers. His father made a joke about how James had better treat me right or he'd answer to them. I waited for the catch. The hidden cruelty, the exclusion that I'd learned to expect. It never came. "You okay?" James asked me later that night, noticing my quiet. "Yeah," I said, "just not used to that." To what? Being welcomed. He'd looked at me with something like sadness and something like determination. "Get used to it," he'd said simply. "You're family now." I cried that night. Not sad tears, not angry tears, just release. Years and years of tension finally letting go. Sometimes I think about Tyler, about what he's doing now, whether he ever truly understood what he lost. I heard through the grapevine that the dealership finally went under and his parents had to sell their house. I heard his sister got divorced too, that her husband got tired of her family's drama. I heard his mother still tells people that I'm the villain, that I stole from them, abandoned them, ruined their family. Let her tell that story. I know the truth, and more importantly, I finally know my worth. To anyone out there being told they're not enough, not welcome, not family, listen to me carefully. The people who truly love you will never make you feel like an outsider. They will never take your contributions while excluding you from celebrations. They will never ask you to pay for a life they refuse to let you participate in. If that's happening to you, you don't have to accept it. You can choose yourself. You can walk away. You can book a flight to Santorini and watch the sunset over the caldera knowing that you are exactly where you belong. The money will sort itself out. The legal stuff will get handled. The gossip will eventually die down. What matters is that you wake up every morning in a life you chose, with people who choose you back. That's what family really means. And if anyone disagrees, well, they can fund their own cruise. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more, don't forget to subscribe to Echo's Nook and hit that notification bell. Drop a comment below and tell me what you think. Have you ever been excluded by your in-laws? How did you handle it? I'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, take care of yourselves. You deserve it.